Hi, I'm Heidi Luquette, and I'm here today with Christina Caleras and Jasenia Hernandez. We thank you for joining us to learn how to develop and conduct a preschool storytime program for your library. As librarians, we know you already understand the importance of early childhood literacy. You're some of its biggest champions. As we get started, we'd like to hear from you. Why do you think Storytime supports early childhood literacy? You know, you're right. Research tells us that Storytime contributes to a child's ability to develop the early literacy, communication, and social skills needed to be ready to learn by the time they enter school. Storytime contributes to kindergarten readiness. It makes learning fun, and it provides parents tips and resources on how to promote literacy at home. Today, we're going to learn proven techniques to build an engaging Storytime program at your library and provide you with a library bag full of tools to support you becoming a beloved and effective Storytime provider to the children in your community. Now, let's get our Storytime groove on and meet Jasenia.
Hello everybody, my name is Jasenia Hernandez and I am one of your Storytime trainers along with Heidi and Christina. So what I want to do is just get you started thinking like a Storytime provider. So what I want you to do is clap your hands like this, and it may seem silly, but it's a great learning opportunity. Here we go. There once was a troll who guarded the bridge, and he wouldn't let you pass until you did what he said. And his special request went something like this: stand up, turn around, and sit down. Stand up, sit down. Stand up, turn around, and sit down. Stand up, sit down. Stand up, turn around, and sit down. Thank you everybody for doing that with me. So I hope you get a lot of learning experiences from this training. And here we go. Let's get ready to learn.
To some of you, stand up, sit down may have felt a little out of your comfort zone, but that's perfectly fine. By the time you have a few story times under your belt, you'll be a pro. It's okay to feel a bit silly now. We're learning. So let's take a look at this Storytime provider. The kids love him. He's using his physical energy to encourage engagement. What provider standards do you think are important to be successful as a Storytime provider? Let's take a minute to review those together. A Storytime provider is a performer. They're not afraid to speak in front of large audiences. Knowing how to adapt depending on their audience is an important characteristic. They also have an understanding of early childhood development. They're approachable and fun. Storytime providers follow a set Storytime structure. They use a variety of techniques, and most importantly, they empower parents and caregivers to support early literacy at home. Often that's done by sharing tips with parents during Storytime itself or by providing a handout of ways a family can support literacy once they get to home. Now, we'd like everyone to find a partner. We're going to take the next 15 minutes to discuss the 3 questions that you see up on the screen. Please allow time for each person to answer all 3 questions. The handout being passed out is the list of standards that we're asking you to consider. Great job, everyone! By now, we expect you're starting to learn the basics of a Storytime provider and how your personal style can adapt to support a successful Storytime. Now let's talk about book selection. There are 5 characteristics of good book selection for a preschool Storytime. Short in length, no more than 2 sentences per page. The book is enjoyable for you and the children. The content is not too complicated for the age group you're reading to, and the book has a variety of illustrations and content. These characteristics are also noted on the handout. Who has a favorite title that they'd like to suggest to the group? Let's try to come up with 3 titles for preschool-aged children. Because in a 1-hour story time, you should be able to read 3 books and incorporate in 3 songs to go with them. This leaves time for a readiness activity at the end. There's room on the handout for you to jot down your book ideas. The structure of storytime is important. Experts in the field of early childhood literacy and library programming state that although children need direct instruction to gain literacy skills, the skills are reached by engaging them in fun, interactive, and age-appropriate activities. As we mentioned, a story time typically lasts 25 minutes with a kindergarten readiness activity to follow. Songs in between books are used to re-engage children. Action songs provide a chance for kids to stand up and burn off some energy, just like the example Jasenia gave at the beginning of this training. Other good examples are songs like Baby Shark, 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 Sticky Bubblegum, Put Your Finger in the Air, Bounce, Flap, Twist. These songs ask children to use their bodies and to move around in some capacity. There are many resources available online to find lyrics to preschool songs. On the Story Guide handout, there's a link provided. Who'd like to share a favorite preschool action song? Does anyone have a good opening song to help children feel welcome? There's space on the handout for you to take notes.
The first step in a story time is opening with a welcome song. The purpose of this song is to gain the attention of children as well as parents. It signals that you are ready to begin and usually consists of lyrics that promote a welcoming environment and storytime expectations. You should plan on using the same welcome song for a couple of weeks or months. This establishes a routine for regular attendees and gives them an opportunity to fully participate in the songs. A sample song is If You're Ready. If you're ready for a story, take a seat. If you're ready for a story, take a seat. Clap your hands and stomp your feet. Make your hands all nice and neat. If you're ready for a story, take a seat. Since we have covered book selection, I have moved straight to the explanation of an action song. This song is different than a regular rhyme or song because it incorporates movement and actions. With a story time of 25 minutes, you need to create a window of opportunity for the children to get up and move around. As we all know, children cannot sit still for a long period of time. An action song is perfect at the middle and/or end of the story time. Get ready to jump, dance, and be silly for these songs. It is as much of an exercise for you as it is for them. Literacy tips are one of the most essential parts of Storytime. As you recall, one of the Storytime provider standards is to empower parents and caregivers. During a Storytime, you should provide a tip promoting literacy skills such as phonological awareness, print motivation, vocabulary, and narrative skills. This leaves parents with a tool to take home and apply. It provides them with some of the confidence they need to go home and be their child's first teacher. For example, you can explain to parents that their child looks up to them as role models. If they see you enjoy reading, they will learn to enjoy reading too. A closing song is the last song before moving on to activities. It is a chance to thank the children for coming and alert them that activities and announcements are coming. You should try and keep the same closing song for a couple of weeks or months, like the opening song. This allows for them to memorize the song and feel like they are fully participating in the program. As you recall, one of the reasons we provide story time is to promote kindergarten readiness. Approximately 1/3 of North American children who enter kindergarten are not school ready and lack some of the skills needed for a successful learning experience. We can use activities during story time to help build up those skills, especially those of gross motor, fine motor, sensory, and crafting aspects. Gross motor development involves the larger, stronger muscle groups of the body. In early childhood, it is the development of these muscles that enables the baby to hold his or her head up, sit, crawl, and eventually walk, run, and skip. Gross motor activities include ball tosses, running, working together to make a parachute billow, and crawling or scooting through a tunnel. These activities are crucial in enabling a child to perform everyday functions such as dressing, climbing into and out of a car, or even getting into and out of bed. Fine motor refers to the movements we make with the small muscles of the hands. Children start to use their hands right at birth to explore their own bodies and the world around them. Their fine motor skills develop as their whole body starts to move and become more stable. Children also learn to do more things with their hands as their cognitive, social, and emotional skills improve. Scissor cutting, building with blocks, using tweezers, and threading are common fine motor developmental activities. These activities are crucial in preparing hand muscles for writing. Sensory motor skills involve the process of receiving sensory messages or sensory input and producing a response or motor output. We receive sensory information from our bodies and the environment through sensory systems such as vision, hearing, smell, taste, and touch. This sensory information produces an appropriate motor response and allows children to be successful in daily tasks at home or school. Children can explore their sensory motor skills by placing their hands into bins containing rice or wet noodles and playing with slime, Play-Doh, and instruments. Fostering creativity helps children develop mentally, socially, and emotionally. Arts and crafts boost young children's ability to analyze and problem solve. As kids manipulate a paintbrush, their fine motor skills improve. By counting pieces and colors, they learn the basics of math. And when children experiment with materials, they dabble in science. Art helps boost self-confidence when kids feel good while they are creating. Most toddlers and preschoolers aren't self-conscious about what they're doing or focused on creating a finished product. That can be hard for parents to accept, but letting go and allowing kids to enjoy the process of creation can reap big rewards. Children who feel able to experiment and to make mistakes feel free to invent new ways of thinking, which extends well beyond the craft room. The sites listed here are wonderful resources for storytime guidance. Please review the key takeaways from this training session. In a minute, you will practice utilizing what you have learned. For your toolbox, you now have a song example from the opening and will get another at the close of the presentation. Additionally, book selection ideas, a handout of provider standards, and a structural outline round out the materials demonstrated today. For our final activity, please use the outline and ideas we have covered to create your own story time using books, activities, and songs of your choosing, and enjoy our closing song. Adios, amigos. Find a partner, share your storytime outline, and describe your method. Once you have provided feedback to your partner, the training session is complete. If you have further questions, please do not hesitate to contact your trainers. Thank you for a great day.
Hello everybody, it's Jasenia again. So what we're going to do is end this training like Storytime providers. We're going to sing a song called Adios Amigos, and this is how it goes. Ready? Adios amigos, adios. Clap your hands twice. Adios amigos, adios. Adios amigos, adios amigos, adios amigos, adios. Your turn to sing with me. Adios amigos, adios. Adios amigos, adios. Adiós, amigos. Adiós, amigos. Adiós, amigos. Adiós. Thank you. We hope you take your skills with you to your workplace and be confident as storytime providers moving forward. Thank you.